Hey there, guys. Thank you all once again for tuning in. I want to say thank you, you guys, for your patience. It's been some time, but I'm very, very excited to release this word. This video will be a little bit different. It will be kind of brief, but it is a word from the Lord, and I must release it. I want to say thank you guys for being patient. I'm so humbly appreciative of your support. I thank you guys for being patient with me because it's been some time that I have uploaded a video, and it's with good reason. I want to say that we need to take all of the limits off of God. We give God a timing to do stuff, and we even put such a high expectation on ourselves where we feel like we have to always be doing something, always in the position of giving rather than receiving. And the season that I just came out of was receiving from the Lord, sitting in the presence of God without any expectations, without even feeling like I had to give something. I had to have something to say. I had to have a word. But you know what? That season was about He and I. And I came out of that season a whole lot stronger than I was going in it. So I want to encourage you that whatever you are going through, whatever season it is, whether you're high up on the mountain or low up in the valley, every season have its tests and its learning experiences, and you want to go through making sure that you are developing and growing to your highest potential. And you can do that by shutting the world out and just going through whatever it is. So I wanted to talk about the cost of the oil in the alabaster box. You don't know the cost of my oil. In the book of Luke, verse 7, I believe, from chapter 36 to, I believe, from Luke 7, verse 36 to verse 50. It talks about an immoral woman pressing her way to the presence, to the feet of Jesus, with this expensive alabaster box filled with this precious perfume, with this anointed oil that was priceless. And my reason for talking about this is because this text is more personal for me than it is popular. See, in the Christian world, we have those texts in the Bibles where they're the ones that are most preached on, taught on, and even talked about. You hear about Ruth and Boaz. You hear about the mother of Jesus, Mary. You hear about those type of stories. You hear about Paul all the time, and you hear about Peter walking on water, and also the woman with the alabaster box. You hear about that story because they're so popular. But this one right here, you guys, for me, it is more personal than it is popular. So let me go ahead and release this word. Many times with the Lord, I found myself in what I thought to be unnecessary trials and tribulations, and I always had to go to God and ask Him why. A person like myself always found herself in so many storms and tests when I was committed. I mean, my life is absolutely dominated by the principles and the Word of God, to the point to where it has separated me from many relationships. I mean, many people don't understand my commitment to God. Many people don't really understand or have revelation, or not strong enough to forsake all things for Him. The Bible says, if you're not worthy to leave your mother, brother, or sister, then you're not worthy of me. And that's what I live by. And a lot of people are not there yet. And so just because they're not there yet, I can't expect them to have the amount of commitment, the amount of faith, the amount of tenacity that I have. I can't expect you to be on fire like I am, because you don't know the cost of the oil in my alabaster box. So this woman, I imagine this woman, you guys, pressing past every accusation, pressing past every snide look, pressing past every mocking word, pressing past every whisper, pressing past everyone who felt like they had more of a right or obligation to sit in the presence of Jesus than she did, when they didn't even give Him a proper amount of honor because they were so self-righteous. They had haughty hearts and they were prideful, but they thought they had more of a right to sit in the presence of Jesus. Now, let me make this clear. Jesus was there. The one who was going to bear our sins. Jesus was there. The answer to what everybody, I know to be sure, everybody in there had a prayer in their heart. Everybody had a petition before God, and Jesus was the answer to it. And these men and women are sitting around Jesus like they're sitting amongst someone common. Can you believe it? But this woman, this immoral woman, quote unquote, She knew that she had nothing else to offer him in and of herself, but she took the thing that was most precious, and it was that alabaster box. It wasn't the box that was precious, but it was what was on the inside and what it cost, you guys. She pressed past each and every look, and she opened that alabaster box. And she poured what was priceless, the best part of her, the only thing that she had that was worth something. She poured it on Jesus' feet, and she cried and she cried. And she wiped his feet with her tears, and the tears overflowed and overflowed so much. Just think of how many tears this woman had to cry. Just think how desperate this woman had to be that she poured something that was priceless on a man's feet. See, she heard that Jesus was there, and she knew, this is my moment. I'm not going to let your accusations, I'm not going to let your judgmental mindset, I'm not going to let your insecurities, your rejection stop me from what is the answer. So every time that I've had to go to God and ask why, and he said nothing, you know what the Lord takes me back to? This text in the Bible in Luke. This woman, she was so desperate. She went through all of that. Just think of if it was you or I walking in a room full of bishops and prophets and pastors and presidents and lawyers and doctors, and it's just little old me. I'm not even supposed to be in this room. Ask yourself this question. Would you have enough courage to walk past it all to the answer? That woman got to a place of such desperation that their looks did not bother her. Those darts of the enemy could not stop her because she was desperate, because she knew if she did not get there, there was no other answer that would come. So this woman with the alabaster box, she poured what was precious, what was priceless on the feet of Jesus. And they mocked her. They looked at her and they said if he knew what matter a woman she was, he wouldn't even let her. Oh, so we know he's not even a prophet. But he knew that this woman had more honor and reverence and the proper perception. Hello, somebody. That she know me in and of myself, I'm not worthy. So let me go get something that I know, hallelujah, will show honor and reverence to him. And she poured it on his feet, and she cried, and she wiped his feet with her humble tears. So every time I went to God and I've asked why me? Why someone as committed, as faithful as I am, ends up in these what seems to be unnecessary trials and tests? You know what God shows me? He tells me, and he shows me through his word, one, and he tells me that because I know you can take it. See, you understand what it costs. You know what I brought you out of. So that person that is forgiven much, just like this immoral woman, that was me, you guys. That woman that was forgiven much, she loves intensely. She loves passionately. She honors me without fear of tomorrow. So I want to encourage you as well as I encourage myself. Press past circumstantial evidence that says you're not good enough. Press past the filth of your past to actually receive what's in front of you. So when I said this word, you guys, it's more personal for me than it is popular. That woman with that alabaster box, she was forgiven of that thing that those people tried to label her as. As she pressed, I believe her deliverance came as she pressed past it all. As she endured every snide look, every evil eye, and even after her deliverance was there, I believe they still were talking. So hello, somebody, let me tell you this. Don't you allow the enemy and the people that the enemy just might very well use to distract you from your deliverance, to distract you from your sold out life with God. And it's going to cost you something. And I'm laughing because that's deep for me, you guys. It's going to cost you something. Even after you're free, people still going to go trying to go in your dirty garbage. The things that are behind you, dead stuff. They're going to try to open up caskets, things from 10 years ago, trying to find something for you today. But you have to know that who the Son sets free is free indeed. And I wanted to encourage somebody to keep pressing towards the feet of Jesus, giving him the best part of you. Because it is he, hallelujah, who is able to set you free. It is he who is the answer to every petition and prayer. And God is going to use you, me, the faithful, the ones who are willing to take it and strive, to take a licking and keep on ticking, all for the glory of God. He'll use you to pray for those same people who are whispering and laughing and mocking and having opinions that mean nothing. Accusations, lies. He's going to use you. The one who knew what it cost to be an example, not just an example, but to pray for those around you. So I want to encourage someone to have the mindset is, I don't care what you throw in front of me. I don't care what it costs. I don't care what has to fall off. I don't care who I have to lose. I don't care how many times they laugh at me and say I do too much. You don't know the cost of the oil in my alabaster box. Just like that woman out of desperation, just out of that woman in faith. Not just desperation. She had faith. All she did was hear that Jesus was there. She said, let me get my stuff. Where's the oil? Because I know when I get there, he has something for me. So I want to encourage you guys to press again. Like one of my videos in the past, I said I'm like that woman in the labor delivery room. I'm that midwife on the side of you saying push. It's gonna cost you something. I know it hurt. Push. Yeah, some people gonna fall off, but push, because if you don't, the vision dies, the baby dies. You gotta push past every false lie that the enemy tries to throw in your way, every false storm that seems like it's too big than you. You got to push past it, because you don't know the cost of the oil in my alabaster box. That needs to be your declaration in this season. So till next time, you guys, I pray grace and peace. I pray that every word that has left my mouth has been edifying, and that it will go and it will bear good fruit. I pray that when you press stop on this video, that you will feel like you can when everything around you says you can't. Keep on pressing.